Towards the Tamburello chicane we go. Is it another move? This time we have the inside. This time we edge ahead and oh! Welcome back to round 2 of our 1999 Heinz-Harald Frentzen World Championship mission in Automobilista 2. Today we're about to start the European stint of this season as we travel to Italy for the San Marino Grand Prix that doesn't actually take place in San Marino but in Imola. In real life, this race was won by Michael Schumacher to the delight of the partisan crowd that will expect nothing less than a Ferrari win today as well. Generally, this was a good day for the underdogs as Häkkinen crashed out from the lead and neither Irvine or Frentzen were able to finish this race. After the bittersweet result of race 1 for us with Frentzen, we aim to do what we didn't manage there and go for a podium finish once again. And as we're having a look at the starting grid, this could be quite the difficult task as Frentzen only qualified 7th for this event and unlike Interlagos, the Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari is not famous for being a track where there is a lot of overtaking action, at least not in this configuration of the circuit where the run from the main straight to the Tosa hairpin is interrupted by not one but 2 chicanes. Yet still, we are optimistic that we're about to see a good race as we start the San Marino Grand Prix. And here we are, on the grid, again turning off all the assists as the lights go green at Imola, and it is once again a sluggish getaway. Barrichello is passed, Alex Wurz is passed. Behind us, Jacques Villeneuve is having a look, as well as Jean Lazy in the Sauber. We stay ahead of them, but we drop 2 positions down to 9th, as we are very close towards going towards the Villeneuve hairpin, which is not really an overtaking opportunity, as the first part of that chicane is really quick. Now Tosa hairpin inside line against Wurz, and we move back into 8th. The Benetton is behind us, but still we are a position lower compared to where we started. The next car is Rubens Barrichello in the Stuart Ford. He had a good start, and we have battled him at Interlagos already. There it has taken us quite some time and a complete 360 to make it past the Brazilian. Let's hope that this time it is a lot easier as we move through the Variante Alta chicane. A corner that I'm not really comfortable with, but at least in this configuration you can take a lot of curb there compared to what the corner is like nowadays, so it's a bit more pleasant. What is not pleasant at all though is that from here on the modern circuit it is flat out running, but well, back then there was a chicane, Variante Bassa, ahead of the start-finish straight, which we are on right now, and we are getting a fantastic run on Barrichello. We have the inside for the Tamburello hairpin, but Barrichello hangs on round the outside. Now a good exit onto here might allow us, and no, it does not allow us anything because there is a very early safety car. Actually, I don't know what has happened. I also wasn't able to identify what has happened by watching the replay. So something must have triggered it, but it was a very short safety car as well, as we are rejoining at the end of lap 3, and the safety car will come in this lap, so the restart will happen when we start lap 4 of this race. And this might be another opportunity to get back where we started this race, into P7. And so I was caught napping once again. It is not a great restart at all, just like it was in Interlagos. So there go our chances of making it past Rubens Barrichello right at the restart. At least there is no danger from behind with Jacques Villeneuve. But this is disappointing, because as I said, overtaking might be a bit more difficult here, but Barrichello does not get a good exit out of the Villeneuve chicane and round the outsides into Tosa. We are ahead, we are alongside. Barrichello is still there, but we get the better exit out of Tosa, and towards Piratella we move fully ahead of the stewards and are up to P7. The next two cars up the road, Giancarlo Fisichella, who is battling with Ralf Schumacher in the Williams. And now let's listen to the roar of the V10 engines. You will get another opportunity to listen to the V10s later on, but you can already see Giancarlo Fisichella is a bit of a moving roadblock both for Ralf Schumacher and myself, as Schumacher has a little look down the inside into the Tamburello hairpin. There might be an opportunity for us, as we've been catching up really quickly over the course of just half a lap. We are alongside Ralf going into the Villeneuve chicane, and Ralf has the better line. Oh, but Fisichella off the road, runs wide, almost spins into Ralf Schumacher, but this is an easy position gained for us as we're in the point scoring positions now, up to 6th. But what is very crucial is to make it past Ralf Schumacher in the Williams Supertech now, who I cannot imagine can keep up with the McLarens and Ferraris, which are already checking out up front. It's Häkkinen from Schumacher, Coulthard and Irvine. These are the top 4. Then Ralf Schumacher 5th, and ourselves, Heinz-Harald Frentzen, in 6th. Now, at the moment, we're not really closing on Ralf, but here is where I am a lot quicker compared to the AI, and look at that. Rivazza 1 gained 2 car lengths, Rivazza 2 gained another 2 car lengths, and now already we're all over the back of that Williams, which is red in that year. Unusual sight, or red and white. They did only have that for 2 years before they changed back to blue and white, as we are going round the outside and even ahead of the braking zone. We are past Ralf and managed to move ahead, and this is us up to P5. And now we need to chase down Irvine and Coulthard, who are having a battle of their own just a couple of meters up the road. And as we're rejoining in lap 11, which was a really good lap for me, I will let you watch the next lap, which is lap 12, in silence again. So I'm back on the mic again as we closed the gap now to these 2 cars. I must say these couple of laps that I've skipped is really where I fell in love with the track and this car combination, as we get a fantastic run on both of them. We're past Irvine alongside Coulthard into Tamburello. We tried to take them both. Well, we did not manage to overtake Coulthard, but we got past Eddie Irvine in his Ferrari, and already we're up to 4th, and this is now almost on target. We want to finish this race on the podium, and David Coulthard is the last car that is between us and that target. A couple of seconds further up the road, there are still 2 more cars, Schumacher and Häkkinen. And who knows? Not even half the race run yet. Again, I started with a full tank of fuel. Who knows what might still happen, but the first thing and the first and most important task for us right now is trying to get past that McLaren. That did not work in Interlagos. That was due to my own wrongdoing. When I clumsily ran into the back of him, spun round, and yeah, the fight for the lead and the win of the Brazilian Grand Prix immediately turned into a fight for P4 with my teammate Damon Hill. But this already is a good run, and at the start of lap 14 I'm going for a move. Coulthard was thinking about closing the door there, but I was already alongside, round the outside. Is it a Verstappen lap 1 move against Oscar Piastri? No, it isn't. I did not manage to pull it off. Coulthard keeps the position for the moment. Now towards Tosa. Again, we get a better exit than Coulthard. We move past Barrichello there. I do not dare to dive down the inside of Tosa. I have learned my lessons somewhat from the race in Interlagos, where I got way too eager to get past Coulthard and tried it into spots where it was absolutely impossible, when Interlagos has so many good overtaking opportunities. As I'm having a quick check on my strategy, we might need to adjust that later on, because we can extend this stint thanks to the safety car, where we are able to save some fuel. Again, obviously, it will be a one-stop race, as we still have a decent amount of fuel in the car, and approaching the half distance very quickly, as again, good exit out of Rivazza 2. And there is maybe an opportunity, an outside chance into Variante Bassa. Well, actually not a chance. And I somewhat compromised my exit out of here, which is the longest flat out run that we have. Towards the Tamburello chicane we go. Is it another move? This time we have the inside. This time we edge ahead. And oh, we get hit by David Coulthard. Spun round. Oh, we lose 2 positions. Coulthard is passed, Irvine is passed, we rejoin, and Ralf Schumacher also passed in the Williams. Oh no, dear, I think this time this was not my fault. This is my first impression from inside the car, and that is really, really bad. Let's look at the replay of what happened here. Here we are in the slipstream, making it alongside. We have the inside line, and oh, in my opinion, we are ahead. And Coulthard tries to force his wheel alongside in the second part of the chicane there. We will see another replay from his onboards. There we are. And I think, in my opinion, this was not on. No further action was taken in that race, so we had to live with it. We dropped down to P6. You're seeing me in first right now, because that is because of everybody ahead of me stopping before I do, which is now lap 18. We were able to extend our stint the longest, so we stopped the latest. We had the benefit of a light car, but now we can already see the top 2, Häkkinen and Schumacher, already passed. Fuel is going in. We're down to 4th. That was Coulthard passing us. Irvine just passed us right now, but at least we gained 1 spot. We are past Ralf Schumacher again, and oh, look at that. As I was saying, P3 might be the maximum in this race, despite us having the pace to fight further at the front. We get another opportunity thanks to another safety car. This time Jacques Villeneuve stopped with his BAR on track, and if you were paying attention there, you could have seen that we just entered P4. And that is because Mika Häkkinen somehow, for whatever reason, decided that he will do a 2-stop strategy. I don't know what McLaren was thinking with this, because he gave up the race lead, and now it is Schumacher, Coulthard, Irvine, ourselves, Heinz-Harald Frentzen, Mika Häkkinen, and Ralf Schumacher. These are the top 6 as we're rejoining at the end of lap 20. When we restart this race, green flags are out, And this time we get a better restart, however, not good enough to immediately move past Eddie Irvine. And well, let's see if we find a way past, as already Schumacher and Coulthard, the top two, are checking out. Can Coulthard make it 2 out of 2 after spinning us off the road? Well, first of all, we tried to avoid this from happening as we try and move round the outside past Eddie Irvine. It worked against Barrichello, who will be taking his seat in the year 2000. Into Piratella we have a little look, but this is never going to work unless you scare your opponent off the road like Charles Leclerc did at Imola with Pierre Gasly this year. Well, this didn't work. Irvine kept his act together. And now we're really losing time. Look at that, Coulthard is really gaining on the Ferrari already. Poor exit out of Variante Alta. We need to act quick. Out of Rivazza too, we usually get a good exit. I had a couple of looks down the inside of Variante Bassa, but I think we're better off not doing that. Well, I didn't think that right now. Oh, Eddie Irvine. Eddie Irvine off the road there, cut the chicane, compromised his exit, and that should be a good opportunity. He tries to close the inside there, but we were already alongside, and we move past into Tamburello. This is a clean move, and up to P3. Podium position gained. But we want more. We want to do what we didn't do at Sao Paulo and try and win this race now. Podium was the target, but we smelled blood here. But first we need to get past the man that we didn't manage to get past in this season at all. This is already the third battle we're having with DC. Again, I have a little look down the inside of Tosa, trying to unsettle him, which does not happen. The chin stays strong. So we have to be a bit more inventive, because his defense is even stronger than his jawline. David Coulthard. And he is ready to play unfair. We've seen that when we were briefly past him through Tamburello. But enough with the chin and jawline jokes. I should be focusing on trying to cleanly pass that McLaren to chase after a German compatriot, Michael Schumacher, who looks to be running away with it at the moment. Coulthard can't do anything about it. Maybe we can. This is our favorite spot on the track, and it is a fantastic run. We're tucked right under the rear wing. We get the slipstream. We move past. This time we're on the outside, but also we're ahead of the braking zone. So I move just that little bit in front of him to stop him from doing anything about this. And now we are up to P2. Just one more car up the road, but Schumacher has already put a bit of distance between himself and P2. And now you're joining the chase, beginning of lap 27. And again, here is a bit of V10 goodness for you. And now we're almost close enough to make a move on Michael Schumacher. How will I do this time? Last time I got too ambitious, overly nervous, spun the car and only finished P4. This time we immediately, first time asking, get a fantastic run, and it is just like it was with David Coulthard a couple of laps earlier, ahead of the braking zone. We move past, we move ahead, we block any counter-attack from Michael, and we move into the race lead without even reconsidering, without even giving myself the chance to mess things up, as we are now in the final 3.5 laps of this race, and I managed to put a bit of distance between myself and Michael Schumacher. We are rejoining in the penultimate lap of this race, halfway through the penultimate lap of this race, and well, it's a bit embarrassing to admit, but nerves were kicking in because I was getting a bit nervous. That red car behind me was still there, and I did not want to mess things up on the final lap again. When I basically have this one in the bag, we can go quicker than Michael, but I do not dare to do that right now. It is just about cleanly finishing this. Do not fall off the road, do not spin, do not crash. Just for once, drive this home cleanly. And you can already see and hear that I'm taking things very, very cautiously on that final lap. And that red car in my mirrors is getting bigger again. You can definitely see that it is a Ferrari, and how much the Tifosi would love a home win for one of their drivers. So far, it is a big upset to see the yellow Jordan leading. But through Aqua Minerale, I'm taking things very, very slowly. And now, Schumacher is right there. Just a couple of corners to go, but that is a lot of scarlet in the mirror there. He might even have a try into Rivazza 1. We have to defend, we have to block the inside. Schumacher takes to the outside. We're early on the brakes. Schumacher is alongside briefly, maybe even just briefly ahead. Through Rivazza 2 we go, just one more corner to go, but Schumacher is right there, he is right there. He might have another chance. Again, middle of the road defending, and I think that should be it. And this is just it. We win in Imola. Yes, come on. Oh dear. Oh, what was that final lap? That was horrible. And yeah, what was that final lap is the question that I asked myself, and I still ask myself, because that was poor. But in the end, it is the first win of the season for Heinz-Harald Frentzen at the very venue where he took his very first real-life win in 1997, back then with Williams. So let's look at the point scorers of today. Schumacher just 0.16 seconds behind us. David Coulthard completes the podium. Irvine finishes ahead of Häkkinen. That two-stop did not pay off at all, and Ralf Schumacher scores the first point for Williams. In the Drivers' Championship, we move up to P2 and are just 1 point behind championship leader David Coulthard. Schumacher, however, also with 10 points, not too far behind. Häkkinen is also right in the fight. Irvine, Hill, and Ralf Schumacher, the only other drivers that have scored so far. The rest of the guys here are ordered by their highest finishing position this season so far. And then, Constructors' Championship, McLaren lead ahead of Jordan. We move past Ferrari, who are in third, and Williams enters the scoreboard with 1 point ahead of Stewart and Benetton, who both had a highest finish of 7th. So surely they will score a point at some point. And that has been it with the San Marino Grand Prix, the second round of our 1991 Formula 1 season. The next race will take place at the circuit, the Barcelona Catalunya. It will be the Spanish Grand Prix. Subscribe to not miss that. Leave a like if you did enjoy this video, and I hope to see you all the next time. Until then, goodbye.